This is the DEFCON Warning System. I'm Thomas Lonelywolf, Director of the DEFCON Warning System. As you see, we're doing something a little different today. We're trying with a live person rather than an AI avatar to see what you think. So if I stumble over my words, if I appear uncomfortable or nervous, it's because I am. I don't like appearing on camera. But let's give this a try. This is your daily strategic briefing, an examination of recent global events that do not necessarily change the current DEFCON level, but which may contribute to a longer-term instability in the nuclear risk environment. At present, we remain at DEFCON 5, condition green. There are currently no imminent nuclear threats at this time. Today, we are monitoring 4 developments from the last 24 hours that warrant attention. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned European leaders that delays in accessing frozen Russian assets and continued uncertainty in long-term funding could force Ukraine to scale back key defense production, including drone manufacturing. While this is conventional war development, it has strategic implications. Russia has repeatedly linked its nuclear signaling and deterrence rhetoric to Western military support for Ukraine. Any perceived weakening of Ukraine's defensive capacity could alter battlefield dynamics, potentially encouraging escalatory pressure from Moscow, including renewed nuclear messaging aimed at NATO capitals. People are not taking the Ukraine war seriously enough. The reason this is important is because what we are watching is nuclear terrorism in action. Russia has consistently threatened nuclear escalation in regards to Ukraine. Other countries are watching this. China, North Korea, Iran. They see that the West is afraid of war. The United States is especially afraid and will do anything it can to avoid war, especially nuclear war. And Russia and the other countries are watching this, and they now know the value of nuclear terrorism. This is why the Ukraine war is far more important than people are giving it credit for, and why they are not watching it as closely as they should. This is going to change the dynamics of how wars are done in the future, and this is not a good thing. Staying with Russia, Western officials are reporting an increase in Russian-linked hybrid operations across Europe, including sabotage, arson attacks, cyber intrusion, and infrastructure disruption. These activities are designed to remain below the threshold of open conflict while testing NATO cohesion and political resolve. Hybrid warfare of this nature is strategically significant because it increases mistrust, compresses decision-making timelines, and raises the risk of misinterpretation during periods of crisis, particularly between nuclear-armed states. Such actions do not trigger DEFCON changes on their own, but they add persistent friction to an already strained strategic environment. In Vienna, at a nuclear arms control forum, a senior U.S. diplomatic official publicly defended the possibility that the United States could resume nuclear weapons testing in the future. The statement was framed as a response to alleged Russian and Chinese activity that may undermine the global nuclear testing moratorium, as well as growing concern over the collapse of arms control architecture, including the scheduled expiration of the New START Treaty in 2026. Russia has rejected the accusations and warned that such discussions undermine non-proliferation norms. To be clear, there is no indication that nuclear testing is imminent. However, the fact that this debate is occurring openly reflects the continued erosion of Cold War-era guardrails that once helped stabilize nuclear competition. People have misinterpreted what the United States have said regarding nuclear testing. They said that they will match what other countries are doing. They did not say they're going to start detonating nuclear weapons in testing environments. So if other countries don't start detonating weapons, the United States theoretically will not start detonating nuclear weapons. Most testing is done on computers, in computer simulations. That's what North Korea is doing, that's what Iran is doing, that's what all countries do. So, the United States did not say they're going to start detonating nuclear weapons. They said they will match what other countries are doing. Take that as you will. Moving back to Ukraine, Europe's largest nuclear power station, which I cannot pronounce, Zaporizhzhia plant in Ukraine, I mangled it, I'm not even going to try doing it, but it is currently operating with only one remaining external power line following disruptions caused by nearby military activity. Although the plant is not generating electricity, it still requires external power to safely cool nuclear material. Loss of all external power would force reliance on diesel generators, a situation that has occurred multiple times during the war. Incidents involving nuclear facilities in conflict zones carry the danger of radiological accidents, misattribution, or crisis escalation, particularly if blame becomes politically contested during periods of high tension. Russia and the West have consistently accused each other of intentionally threatening and damaging the Zaporizhzhia, the Ukraine plant. None of these developments discussed tonight warrant a change in DEFCON status. However, taken together, they illustrate a global security environment characterized by weakening arms control norms, persistent hybrid conflict between nuclear armed states, and conventional wars operating dangerously close to nuclear thresholds. We will continue to monitor these developments closely. As always, be informed, be prepared, and be safe. So this is how it's going to look if I'm doing this live. So let us know in the comments whether you prefer me fumbling through a script. You can tell when I'm reading a script and when I go off script. Or if it's better if an AI avatar is doing it and it's more consistent, more professional looking, and they don't stumble over the words or something like that. Facts don't become less important if an AI avatar is reading them. I don't know why people have an objection to it, but they do. So let us know what you think, whether we can go back, whether we should go back to an AI avatar, or if you want me to continue doing this. Your comments are important to us. We do listen to them. That's why we're doing this experiment now, because some of the comments kind of reflected you didn't want the AI avatars. So let us know what you think. In the meantime, until tomorrow, this is the DEFCON Warning System.